Okay, so we've talked a lot over the last 2 days about this extremely dynamic environment that we're all operating in every single day. So each and every one of you is constantly pushed to innovate and evolve and rethink what is going on in your infrastructure. So, and one customer who's really taken that innovation to heart is Rivian. So it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage Josh Crater to tell us a little bit more about it. So let's have a look at this video first.
Look at all these trees. Look at all these trees, huh?
All right. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm great. Thank you so much for being here with us. OK, so many of you know the Rivian brand. It's exploded over the last couple of years. We all see the cars on the road. Any proud owners? RS1, RST? Anyone? No? No? Come on, let's see some hands. Start selling on the after the session. So we've all seen what Rivian is doing to really push the boundaries of a very mature market. But Josh, tell us a little bit more about what that looks like inside of Rivian. Like, how does that disruptor mentality drive you guys within the company?
So within Rivian, doing something different is never easy. It requires courage, determination, and grit. And we're always stretching, beyond the bounds of conventional thinking, which actually is helping us to build new solutions and, operate in the face of uncertainty with the way the world is right now. We have a diverse background of people and teams that work within Rivian that have a love for the outdoors. And what we're really trying to do is we're trying to make a better world for our kids' kids', which is our mission, to have forever.
That's fantastic. We really like disruptor mentalities here at Pure, so that really resonates. So I understand from our conversations that you really not only kind of live that in your DNA every day, of that really thinking outside of the box and thinking disruptively, but you and your team specifically have taken that and really looked at completely redefining the manufacturing operations at Rivian. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So my team really undertook 3 major initiatives. These were to modernize our manufacturing operations, and this was to build a modern infrastructure platform. This helped us leverage data to enable our factories to become more productive. We start off with some production efficiency, which our main goal was to actually improve the efficiency of the shops and facilities within our manufacturing plants, and overall increase our ambitious production goals. We have infrastructure resiliency, where we needed to implement a mission-critical and resilient infrastructure so we can avoid interruptions and downtimes that can slow down your manufacturing systems. And then we needed to present as a service delivery. So this was to enable storage and database as a service to our developers, so we could easily accelerate the development and deployment of manufacturing applications to our production line.
Okay, so some big projects there. So production efficiency, infrastructure resiliency, and as-a-service delivery. So we're going to dive into each of those a little bit more, and would love to learn about what you did with Pure and how you really tackled these. So let's start with production efficiency. I mean, you guys had some lofty goals here. You were trying to scale your annual production of automobiles by 50x, which is huge. So how did you do that?
So we looked at implementing really automation and observability. So that way we could create a high-performance systems for shop applications to be deployed on. These help our manufacturing applications. Many of these require high I/O and performance, and we had to do this to optimize our performance in the factory. So we chose to run Portworx and FlashArray's Cloud Drive technology, as well as integrating this with a mix of bare metal and virtual machine Kubernetes infrastructure. So the end benefit was really to turbocharge our database and application storage to help drive efficiency for production applications. The underlying performance of the Pure platform helped us deliver a wide range of sophisticated tools that could help us identify and locate these issues that we're having with manufacturing databases and applications. And we really integrated this through the Pure's API to go into our own centralized monitoring solutions.
That's really cool. So you really looked at you got the visibility you needed through the entire production process, so you could really zero in and create that agility. That's really interesting. Okay, so moving on to your second big project around infrastructure resiliency. So I can't imagine that it's even remotely possible to achieve those lofty production goals without a really reliable storage infrastructure, data replication, and continued data access. So how did you and your team really think about ensuring that resiliency in your infrastructure and minimizing the risk of downtime?
So as many may know from the manufacturing space, any minute of downtime, even maybe a second of downtime, costs money. And we needed a system that could easily be incorporated into building a mission-critical data resiliency pattern. So we have multiple data sources that we had to architect for to provide reliable microservices to our end users, the teams on the production floor, so that way we could help our operations. With Portworx, Rivian achieves that uninterrupted data access and data resiliency across our operational technologies layer, and that way we can lose certain aspects of the system, like a node, and easily restore it. And combining Portworx with FlashArray and FlashBlade and the replication capabilities helped us provide that high availability secure platform that also had cost-effective terms to it. And we've really revolutionized this manufacturing process where applications can go through this rigorous testing process, and then we can deploy them rapidly and easily across our production floor. That way, changes can be made more so in real time.
That's amazing. OK, so let's unpack your last big project, which was as-a-service delivery. So tell us a little bit more. Why was this so important to how you were rethinking your manufacturing process? And how did you actually go about delivering storage, not only storage as a service, but also database as a service to your stakeholders?
Yeah, so really we wanted to minimize that developer wait time. So in traditional infrastructure, you'll have a timeline of, hey, I need to know exactly what specs you need. And we basically took the Pure platform along with Kubernetes and integrated it with Portworx data services to reduce the time it takes to deploy a database as a service from 9 days down to only hours. So after adopting this, this really helped us solve for some of the operational complexity and reduced some of the staffing needs for database services, and helped us also bring that into the hands of more so the developers. And the agility and customization that was presented through this actually helped us build more microservice databases across our infrastructure. So that way, instead of a database having an issue, you could actually have these little chunks. So you have one database that's dedicated to one area of your manufacturing facility, and if they ran into an issue, you could easily restore that without affecting other areas of the manufacturing facility.
That's really cool. How did your developers react to that? And how did that change the relationship that you had between IT and your developers?
So really, our team built a strong relationship with our developers. So as you come to on-premise solutions, you really need to think how your infrastructure and your applications interact with each other. And this really drove a come-together moment where we were able to zoom out with our development teams, and then help them more so understand their application instead of having to worry about the day-to-day operations of storage and infrastructure.
That's really cool, actually, how you were able to kind of redefine that relationship and those roles and responsibilities through that process. By the way, side note, for anybody who wants to learn more about what they've done at Rivian for the as-a-service delivery kind of mechanism and the relationships that they built with their developers, there's a breakout right after this session in room at noon in Jasmine B, so don't miss it.
Yep.
And you can get more details from Josh and his team. Okay, so those are some really, again, big, lofty projects that you undertook to really transform your entire manufacturing process. So what's next? Like, what are you guys working on now?
So as of right now, we're continuing to build out our manufacturing sites and working on developing better and faster edge solutions to actually maintain infrastructure agility and merge the software infrastructure with our operations and standard infrastructure in our facilities. You know, by looking to disrupt this technology stack that's very traditional, we're leveraging some of Pure's amazing technologies so that way we can build these scalable systems that help enable edge computing and us to actually operate at scale. So this flexibility allows us to create this disaggregated architecture and really allows us to leverage both cloud on-demand principles and then have it work seamlessly between on-prem facilities and the cloud infrastructure.
That's amazing. Okay, so before I let you off the hook, launched a lot of new features yesterday, a lot of new stuff. What are you excited about? What that Pure is talking about here at Accelerate?
So what I'm really excited about at Pure is some of the upgrades coming to Portworx and also learning more about the flash array systems and the amount of data that can actually be stored there and the speed at which you're storing that data.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, Josh, we are so happy that you were here with us today. I think you guys have really done some kind of revolutionary stuff in just thinking about, again, reimagining and applying that out-of-the-box thinking to a fairly traditional manufacturing model. So, you know, what you've heard here today is like agility and visibility and how you can really kind of compartmentalize everything that you're doing across your manufacturing to get that speed. The importance of resiliency, as you mentioned earlier, and being able to kind of zero in on where the problem areas are. And I think my favorite is really, again, redefining kind of those rules and standard roles and responsibilities between developers and IT and cut down on that, you know, week and a half wait time to get what they need to run the business. So not only are you increasing the output overall of the manufacturing process, but everything's moving faster and more flexibly through the entire tip-to-tail operation. So thank you so much for being here with us today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Before we let Josh go, it really is my pleasure to recognize all of you and your team's efforts that you've done over the last few years. And I'm excited to announce that Rivian is the Pure Storage Cloud Champion Breakthrough Award winner. So let's have a look at this.
Rivian Automotive is disrupting the electric vehicle industry with its unique lineup of SUVs and trucks. The company is dedicated to maximizing efficiency to get more adventurers on the road as quickly as possible. With Portworx as its Kubernetes data services platform, it has accelerated IT development, supporting 24/7 operations for critical business processes, unlocking greater speed, scale, and flexibility. With Portworx, developers can spin up new environments themselves in a fraction of the time required in the past, all of which translates to better, faster, and safer experiences for drivers across the world. Congratulations to Rivian Automotive, this year's Pure Storage Cloud Champion Award winner.
All right, congrats, Josh and team, and thank you again for being here.